So when you're building WordPress sites, one of the issues that when I kind of release a website into the wild, as it were, and give it back to the person that owns it, I'm expecting them, to carry on with the blogging and stuff, to make to make the call for why they're the experts, stuff to improve their Google ranking, to put that hard working to get their SEO up. So I'm hoping they'll kind of take on the job of continuing to update the site. And sometimes there can be a problem where it's not quite obvious how to put things or how to do stuff or how to continue with how it's been kind of handed over. So we're just going to increase the skills. I've got two sites that I'm going to talk about. The first one is a makeup artist. The next one is a travel blog site. Recently finished, recently handed back to the the customer, and obviously we're just going to ensure that they continue to keep going, and maybe even the travel one is a transfer. So there's content there. Maybe after this they might go back and redo that stuff. What I'm going to go over is a couple of additional things with both of them to think about. The first one, I'm just focusing on posts here. So the first one is what can you do with posts? So obviously they're both happy with making posts, but there are a few things that you can do that can shortcut other stuff. This in particular is a place where you can do quite a bit of stuff without having to go into the post. So to edit a post, normally you'd either click on this or you click edit here. But if you want to do something that isn't editing the text stuff, it's editing the data surrounding this, you can click on quick edit there, and then you get a lot of the stuff up. So if, for example, you wanted to change who wrote this, there's an author box there. You can change the author. If you were posting this at a certain time, you could backdate it to a time or a date. Here you could publish it in the future, so you could schedule it. Or if you've just published it and you've realised, actually, I don't want it to publish till tomorrow, you could put this back to draft, so that, in all essence, unpublishes it. So there's quite a few things you can do here without going into the actual into the blog post itself. There's also a couple of things you can do here with several. So obviously you couldn't change the title of several blogs at the same time. But if you put a tick in more than one, go into bulk actions, click edit, then click apply, it'll show you the things that you can change for those. So if for example, on the travel one, he's also got a motoring journalist. If you wanted to change the author of all of those, you could select all the ones for the motoring journalist, click on the bulk edit, and then change the author to all of those. Click on update, and it would update all the ones that have been selected. So this is a good place to update your site your post without going into the post itself. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. The second thing to do with posts is particularly I know when I build a site from a template, either from Theme Forest or from Elegant Themes. So whenever you're making your post, what you would then do is try and continue the theme of the theme, as it were. And what I'll show you on the Essential Journeys one. So on this Essential Journeys one, I've got a travel blog, and I've got one, Escape to the 21st Century in a Rural Idyll. So this was created before it was handed over, before I migrated it and changed the template and stuff. So, or rather, this was created in the old style when the customer was just creating it in the way he'd always created it before. But it could be done in a better way. So we've got, the text here is brilliant, and I could never dream of writing this kind of text. So the copywriting is awesome, but the layout could be a bit better. So, for example, we've got pictures interspersed here. We could potentially put these all in one area to make a gallery. So they're all kind of all over the place. The link here could look a bit better, could maybe be a call to action. And we're talking about a specific place here, so we could maybe add a map to this. So I'm going to cover those things that I spoke about, changing the way this is done and maybe putting a map in. I'll talk about changing the way things are done by looking at the posts, and I'll show you something on both of them. Whenever you're editing, whenever you're editing content in your blogs, I suspect that there will be different types of posts that you can have. So rather than, so instead of having the standard post, I suspect there are different types of posts that you can create, you can suggest. And I'm just trying to find this post. Can't quite find it, so I'm going to use the word rural that was in the title to search. So if you lost a post, you can find it there. There it is there. If I edit this post now, and this has been created using, not been created using the inbuilt functionality of this theme. This is an elegant theme, and elegant themes use the Divi Builder. If you're not aware of the Divi Builder, get to know it. It's a top bit of kit. So currently, this theme isn't using the inbuilt qualities of the theme. It's just using WordPress stuff out of the box, as it were. And that's if I don't waffle for too long, I might add it to this blog. But if I've been waffling for a bit, I might actually do a third blog just about these kind of builder stuff. But the type of post that we're doing here, very, very image heavy. The content copy is great, but there's lots of good pictures there as well. So potentially, and yeah, we got, see in the format here, I've got the ability with this theme to create a specific blog type for a gallery. So I've got a box here for gallery. So at the moment on this page, I've just got my text editor. At the bottom of it, I've got a few other bits and pieces additional to this. If I then put in here gallery, an additional, you saw it appear there, an additional box appeared here for gallery format options, and you would get the same for any of the other options. So if I click quote, the gallery goes and the quote appears. So this template has got the ability to change what type of post it's going to be, and depending on your template depends on what happens. So here you saw when I clicked gallery, I've got the ability to add images to the gallery, and I know on this one the front image will scroll, and you can select whether it's how many seconds it takes to scroll. They're all very similar. Let's have a look. Let's go into the other one. So we'll go into this one here. This is another template. This is a template I think which uses the site origin theme extension. So yeah, we've got a site origin editor here. Okay, and this one doesn't seem to have post types. Now, if you can't see the box here, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not available. Because what it potentially might mean is you haven't got it turned on. So sometimes when you're in this box here, okay, you can have a box that's been minimized like that one had there. But also there are occasions, particularly if you add a template that adds additional functionality, there are sometimes where in the screen option something's turned off. So I'm going to have a look at Page Builder, see if what that puts in. So I'll put a tick in box for Page Builder, see if that adds anything to the box. Okay, don't see anything that added. It doesn't look like this template has got the ability to say what kind of blog post this is, which is a bit annoying. Okay, hey ho. So we'll go back to this one. So yeah, so if the theme you've got takes it, and most do, it's a bit sad Dylan hasn't got it. Make sure you click on gallery type. If you can't see a box like this, and somebody's told you that go to format or go to the author box or go to the gallery settings and stuff. If it doesn't appear on this box here in the page here, go to the top of your page and click on screen options, and it might be unticked here. And you just put a tick in the box and it appears. Okay, I'm wondering whether to stop there. So those are some additional bits for the blog. The stuff I spoke about doing in the list of blogs, changing the status of it, changing the date, changing whether it's published or draft. You can do that here as well at the top. So I could change this to draft. Then it's unpublished, as it were. I could change the date and stuff on there. I changed the category here. But you should know about categories by now. And like I said, this is what we're talking about there. So the additional functionality. I put it back to standard because I'm not going to change it yet. Okay. Right. I think we'll leave that there, and I'll do a third one because the third one's going to be a bit of a. It's going to be hurt your brain, I think. Yeah, we'll leave that one there.